Hello guys, welcome back to the multimedia channel, your favorite channel of course. I hope that your week is already off to a good start. If you're yet to subscribe to the channel, I beg you, just try and subscribe. Yeah, because it goes a long way really in encouraging me to keep doing what I'm doing, to keep talking about football as it concerns the Super Eagles and of course um the EPL, which I know is of interest to many of us. Yeah, so to those who are already subscribed to the channel, I want to say a very big thank you to you. It means a lot to me. It really means a lot to me. All right, today there are quite a number of things to talk about. Of course, as it concerns the players of the Super Eagles who have won trophies in their various club sides, the likes of Victor Boniface, Troost-Ekong, and then down to, of course, the coach of the Super Eagles, which is one subject we probably wouldn't stop talking about. Yeah, so we'll talk about that. But then, just before I dive right into that, I want to talk about the Premier League. It's one thing I would never stop talking about. Yeah, so the season ended yesterday, Sunday. All 20 clubs played there are 38 matches. Some were relegated. The likes of Burnley were relegated. And then, of course, Man City won the league. Now, they've made it 4 times in a row. That is massive. It is unprecedented in the history of the Premier League. And congratulations to them. If you ask me, it's well deserved. They gave it all they got. From the beginning of the season to the very end of the season. Yeah, so congratulations to them. Congratulations to the players. Congratulations, Pep Guardiola. He's one man we'll never stop talking about. He's an excellent manager. He's an excellent manager. Yeah. So of course, um, Haaland also won the Golden Boot for the season, so he makes it second time in a row. Of course, we recall that he won it last season. Yeah, last season, and then of course this season he has repeated the same feat. And then Phil Foden actually won the Player of the Season. That's another award that, if you ask me, I would say is well deserved. Phil Foden he plays beyond his age. I just wish that other young players in the Premier League can really copy from him. Yeah, I recall that there were times when Rashford was that hot, but at some point Rashford began to lose form. I can't even explain what the problem is, but Phil Foden has been consistent. Yeah, so congratulations to him. And then other awards that we saw yesterday was Arsenal's goalkeeper David Raya, of course, who won the Golden Glove award. He was also impressive all through the season. And then of course Ole Watkins, the Aston Villa striker, who also won the Playmaker of the Season award. So congratulations to all the award winners, but of course the biggest of all congratulations actually goes to Man City for breaking that record. I don't know. I keep wondering if any club would actually beat that record to win the EPL 4 times consecutively. I don't know, but I still think it's possible, you understand. But the fact is that you will now have to really invest, because what is helping Man City, apart from the fact that, of course, they have a very good coach, a very experienced coach who is highly respected by the players, is the fact that they really invest in players, right? So you can't possibly be talking about winning titles when you're not even investing in players, when you're not investing in both young players and people who are experienced. Yeah, so any club that wants to beat that record should get into the transfer market and do the needful. And for Arsenal, is another sad season. I don't think sad is the word, because if you ask me, I think Arsenal really gave it their all. Of course, they won their last match of the season, and if you can see, I am putting on Arsenal jersey today as a sign of my respect and admiration for how far they came in the season, how closely they followed Man City. Yeah, so Arsenal for me is like one of the most impressive teams of this season. But of course, I know that for many people it's not looking like an old story. We remember how close they came last season as well, and then this season it is happening again. But overall, Arsenal have really improved from what we saw last season, and it's a clear indication that in the coming season they would even do better and go on to win the Premier League. And of course, like I would always say, Arsenal they are among the youngest side, if not the youngest side, of course, in the Premier League. But of course, we saw all through the season how committed the players are, the likes of Saka, Martinelli. So all of them were really committed they knew what the coach wanted. You understand? Of course, you had the likes of Trossard as well, and then Havertz, who was scoring and was really on top of his game all through the season. Yeah, so congratulations to Mikel Arteta as well. He really did a good job, even though, of course, I know that what matters at the end of the day is the trophy. So if you don't end up winning the trophy, it's as though you didn't do anything all through the season. But of course, they have also qualified for the Champions League, which is another interesting thing. So Man City, Aston Villa, to some extent, surprisingly, and then of course Liverpool. Yeah, talking about Liverpool, of course, Jurgen Klopp has finally left the club. I mean, we saw him celebrating with the fans yesterday, which was their last game, of course, and his last game at the club. Yeah, so we saw he would be greatly missed. I mean, according to reports, he actually had a total of 7 trophies, including the Champions League and the Premier League, while his time lasted at Liverpool. So like I said, he would be really greatly missed because he's someone who brought a lot of changes to the club. I mean, we know the kind of players he brought to the club. We know how impressive they were. And then we know how really impressive he was as a coach. He was someone whom the players really admired and respected, even though, of course, there were times when they had a bit of fallout here and there. But the fact remains that Jurgen Klopp will be missed at Liverpool. I wish him well moving forward. I mean, wherever he's going to, I just hope that, of course, he would, keep doing well, keep achieving great feats, because he's a really he's an outstanding coach. Yeah, so moving on, of course, Victor Boniface is another individual I talk about almost every time I make a video because of how outstanding he's been for his Bayern Leverkusen side. So he ended his season with a goal, of course, in their last match over the weekend, where they also won the Bundesliga title. He actually scored the opener in that game against Augsburg, making it 21 goals in 33 matches for his club side. Of course, we saw him. He shared an old picture of his coach when he was still growing. So he shared that old picture of himself and the coach, and then another picture of himself and the same coach now that he won a trophy. Yeah, so that's really a massive boost. Yeah, so that's a massive boost for up and coming stars. It shows that you don't have to give up. That you just need to keep struggling till you get to the very top that you desire. Yeah, so in total, Bayern Leverkuse made it 28 wins and 6 draws in the Bundesliga league, of course. And of course, we know how that they also broke the record of the longest run without a loss. So out of 51 games, they never lost in anyone. What they had were draws, and I mean talking about the Bundesliga, Europa competitions and the likes. Yeah, so kudos to the club. Kudos to Xabi Alonso. He's been impressive. I mean, the players love him so much, and I know that the club is not willing to let him go, even though we have the likes of Liverpool, who have indicated interest in actually bringing him to Anfield. But I know that Leverkusen management will not be willing to actually let him go. Yeah, so moving forward, Ola Aina has actually expressed confidence that the Super Eagles will give, of course, the new coach, Finidi George, all the support that he needs to succeed, of course, to succeed as manager of the Super Eagles. I mean, if you have followed Super Eagles matches, you would actually discover that Ola Aina is one man who has been reasonably consistent. I mean, he always brings his A game. okay, apart from maybe the finals, that he wasn't really impressive, but he's someone that I like. He's someone whose confidence I really admire. So he said that he and other players are willing, to give Finidi George the support that he deserves as coach of the Super Eagles. So we're wishing them well. Of course, we know that they'll be playing South Africa in that World Cup qualifier matches coming up on in the first week of June. So we're wishing them well. Yeah, so moving forward, the 10th edition of what is known as Nigeria Pitch Awards, which is of course Nigeria's longest running football awards, will take place on Saturday, June 8th, with the likes of Wilfred Ndidi Olaina and the two victors, that is Victor Boniface and Victor Osimhen, making the list of nominees. So you have the such categories as goalkeeper of the year, defender of the year, striker of the year, and then midfielder of the year. So we're really wishing all of them well. That's those who have been nominated. It's a clear sign that when you're on the field, people are watching you. So it's more reason why you should always bring your A game whenever you have an opportunity to feature. Yeah, so moving forward, we have what looks like a bit of an assurance that Victor Osimhen will be available for the 2026 World Cup qualifier against South Africa and Benin next month. Of course, despite his injury scare. So we got that assurance from Napoli, his club side, who are saying that he will most likely be available. Of course, we know that he's been out on injury, and then of course he continued to sort of raise concerns about his availability for the matches ahead of the Super Eagles. Of course, we still have the likes of Chukwueze, Moses Simon, Zaidu, who are down injured, and it's already a serious cause for concern. But of course, thankfully, we have that assurance that Osimhen will be available. So we also hope that other players will be available in no time as well. Yeah. So moving forward, one of the new assistant coaches, of course, under Finidi, he's known as Benjamin James, has shared his thoughts on what he feels is the difference between the two Victors, Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface. Yeah, so he said that while one, that's referring specifically now to Victor Osimhen, is a better finisher or a better scorer, Victor Boniface is both a scorer and a better finisher. And I think that he rightly captured the difference between these two players. Two of them are very impressive. Of course, we know how many goals they've scored in their club sides, but the fact is that Boniface is a better dribbler compared to Victor Osimhen. But of course, Victor Osimhen is a better scorer. You understand? But the thing is that Boniface has the two skills. He can score goals. He can dribble. You understand? He can pass through defenders and then get the goal into the net. Yeah. So I think of course he was quite accurate in that distinction between the two strikers. But of course, the fact is that as a country, we are really fortunate to have the two of them. You understand? So it goes to show the kind of performance you would expect when the two of them get to feature in a match. Yeah. So moving forward, Super Eagles captain William Troost-Ekong has won what is known as the Greek Super League title with his club side. They're known as a very funny name, PAOK Salonica. According to reports, they claimed the title after a 2-1 away win over Aris on Saturday night. So they ended the season with a total of 80 points from 36 matches. So congratulations are in order for Captain Fantastic Troost-Ekong. I mean, we're wishing him well. We recall how he came back from injury that he had suffered, of course, after the AFCON tournament. Yeah, so moving forward, the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Ibrahim Gusau, has actually dismissed, rumors making the rounds that the federation actually imposed assistance on Finidi George. There were reports, of course, that the body had influence in his choice of Daniel Amokachi, Benjamin James, Olatunji Baruwa, Chima Onyike, and then Mehmet Augsburg as assistant, but then the chairman of the president of the NFF rather has come out to clear the air and said that Finidi Judge was actually given a free hand to, choose those he would want to, work with. So I think he has cleared that air now. And then, of course, he also spoke about the fact that Finidi's contract is performance based. So it's not 1 year, it's not 2 years, it's not 5 years. It is performance based, of course, with an initial 1 year term. There would be an opportunity for him to extend for another year. Of course, that would depend on if he meets the targets that have been set for him. Of course, I know that part of which is that he must help the team to qualify for the World Cup in 2026. And I know that, of course, he's prepared. He has a crop of players he has really worked over time. Yeah, so I know that he's prepared to really put in his best to, get us to the World Cup and then other competitions that are available. Yeah, so moving on, and on a very sad note, reports have it that the wife of Tijani Babangida has sadly lost her barely 1 year old son, Fadio. We recall that the entire family were involved in a motor accident, I think sometime last month. Tijani Babangida even lost his brother, Ibrahim Babangida, in that fatal accident. Now his wife has lost their barely 1 year old son, and there are also reports that she's in a critical condition. So we owe them our prayers even at these very trying times. Of course, we saw there was a picture of kind of visiting Babangida, of course, in his home. Yeah, so to wish him well and quick recovery because he suffered injuries as well. So that family needs our prayers, especially at this point. That they're passing through pains. They need our prayers. Yeah, so we really wish him and his wife a quick recovery and also the fortitude to bear the loss that they have suffered as a result of that fatal accident. Yeah, so as usual, I want you to share your thoughts on the comment section. Boniface has won the Bundesliga title. Troost-Ekong has won his league title as well. So just share your thoughts on how impressive these Super Eagles players have been all season, and then also share your thoughts on the fact that Man City won the Premier League 4 times in a row. It's a record I doubt any other club will be able to break, moving forward. So just share your thoughts, and also on the fact that Arsenal would have to wait for another season to try and get their hands on the Premier League. So just share your thoughts on the comment section. Thanks for watching as always. Bye for now.